So you won back-to-back 6 consecutive world titles in surfing. I mean, you are one of the most famous and successful female surfers in the history of the sport.
It's true.
Yeah, it's true. I'm glad you know that.
I do.
And then you went back and you actually got a 7th world title a few years later. You know, obviously the drive, the determination, the resilience, the focus that it takes to stay at that level of elite performance in a tough competitive field. You're up against other people who are also determined.
Yeah.
And also, what is it that you think really sets apart those who, whether it's as a world champion surfer or in business or in any field of endeavour, those who ultimately really do stay the course and achieve success, however you look like it, you don't always win a medal for it, but in their area, that from those who don't, from those who go, oh, it's all too much bloody work, it's too hard, I'm going to throw in the towel and just call it a day.
Excuses. It's the only thing that makes the difference.
Yeah.
You either find a reason or you find an excuse.
So your commitment has to be bigger than the excuses you can find to just take a pass.
Yes, exactly. I caught up with one of the girls I competed with many years ago. I was in Hawaii recently, and she was one of my main adversaries and rivals, but also one of my good friends on tour. And she goes, I didn't really like you on tour. You were really determined. I mean, I was quoted as having the compassion of a tiger shark. I was really severe. And because my willingness to win and my desire to succeed was way more important to me than appeasing my peers, than earning the respect and recognition and friendship of people that ultimately wanted to see me lose.
Yeah.
So I had to identify, what is it that I want? What is it that I'm not willing to compromise? What is it that I'm not willing to sacrifice? Or I'm not going to subordinate myself to earn the respect and then live my life according to someone else's values. Yeah. She said, but I wish I had your focus because I was a people pleaser.
Yeah.
She worried about everyone around her.
Yeah.
And that was my Dancing with the Stars experience.
Yeah.
I worried about everyone around me instead of focusing on what was right for me.
Yeah.
And that's how I became so successful, is because first, I knew what I wanted.
Yeah.
Secondly, I knew how to ask the right questions. And then lastly, the network of support that I'd created through the desire of achieving success gave me that foundation of determination to overcome all those challenges, setbacks and obstacles.
So, one, you were super focused. You knew exactly what you wanted.
Clarity of vision.
Yeah. To the questions.
Yeah.
When you say, you knew what questions to ask, I mean, I know the quality of our questions determines the quality of our lives to such a large extent, and too often we don't even ask questions. Exactly. We just think we know the answers. But when it comes to asking those questions, what questions are you talking about? What did you ask yourself?
Well, first I had to ask myself what I wanted, and when you're really clear on what you want, as opposed to what you think you need. There's got to be a real sense of clarity and enthusiasm behind your conviction and your answer to that question. A lot of us don't know what we want. Yeah. A lot of us focus on what we need. I met a lady at Qantas very recently. I handed in my card. She looked at my card, looked up at me and went, "Should I stay or should I go?" I said, "What do you mean? What's going on?" She goes, "They're handing out redundancies and I don't know what to do. I've been here 31 years of my life. I've committed my whole life to this job. I'm now in my middle 50s. Should I stay or should I go?" I said, "What do you want?"
Yeah.
She'd never even
and she
herself
probably said,
that.
"I don't know."
I don't know.
Yeah.
Because she's focused on living a life according to her needs.
Yeah.
I have to pay a mortgage. I have to fulfill other people's perspectives or projected opinions of who I am and what I should or shouldn't be. So the questions that I've asked have always been based around what I want. And when I haven't known what I wanted, I haven't been able to ask the right questions.
Yeah. And I think that point also of knowing what you're willing to sacrifice too.
Yes.
I mean, you worked really, really hard.
Yes, and I do have a challenge with accepting the word sacrifice because as far as I'm concerned, they were choices.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I don't really feel like I've sacrificed anything.
Well, I think, maybe it's the trade-offs. It's like when you're spending time on one thing, you're not spending it on another.
Yes.
And so choosing, I'm spending time here and I'm not spending it there. And that would be nice, but I'm more committed over here.
Yeah. And I understand that now in a business sense. In a professional surfing sense, I was just so focused, so selfish and so self-centered.
You loved it.
There was no sacrifices.
Yeah. Well, when you love being in the water every day.
Of course, I still do it.
It's not hard work and sacrifice to get in the water every day.
Unless it's cold and windy and raining.